Hi everyone, welcome to Prism Heart Tarot. My name is Sarah, and today I am looking at the pre-solar eclipse energies for all 12 zodiac signs. We have a solar eclipse in the sign of Leo on August 12th, and depending on where Leo lies in your personal natal chart, it will affect each of you in a different aspect of your life. Now, solar eclipses are meant to open new doors and new chapters, and at the same time close some other chapters and doors in our lives. So I personally have felt a surge of energy the past few days leading up to this solar eclipse, and I felt this flow of information come through me, and I wanted to pull cards to see what the information was, what this energy is for the 12 zodiac collectives. And that's what we are going to look at today. We're going to do a spread with 4 cards. First card is going to be the overall energy, second card is your energy, third card is the challenge, and the fourth card is Spirit's advice. And at the end, I will do a bonus reading of a quick question, a yes or no question for each one of you. All right, we are going to start with Aries. Hello, Aries. Let's see what are the solar eclipse energies that will affect the Aries collective, or could affect the Aries collective. And starting with the overall energy, your energy, your challenge, and Spirit's advice. Okay, beautiful. Starting with Ace of Cups, the Magician, King of Swords, and the Six of Wands. The overall energy around you is the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups represents love, unconditional love, love of all kinds. Like really just a sense of well-being and emotionally being fulfilled. So what's around you is love of family, love, whether it's from your, love of your job, your career, generally there's a lot of love and support around you, including from your spirit team and your higher self, obviously. But there's just a sense of well-being and love and support around you right now that you can tap into if you wanted to embark on any kind of new projects or change course in your life in any particular area of your life. There's love and support for you from all different avenues and angles. So you're not really alone. That's the key message here, is that you're not going to be alone in that. With the Magician being your energy, this is about you having a lot of confidence in being able to manifest what you want to manifest in life, or at this point in your life. The Magician has all the 4 elements of the tarot at its disposal and can really manifest any goals or any vision he or she has. But the key thing is taking action. So I think a lot of the manifestation, the Magician, quote unquote, manifestation interpretations are that, just visualize it and feel the feelings, etc. But the Magician is very much a card of action, even if you don't see the action here. It's as above, so below. What you imagine, you can ground, but the grounding part has to do with taking action. You have to, plant it, you have to nurture it, you have to water it, you have to watch it, you have to put some labor and sweat equity into it. But you have the ability to create what you want if you are focused and you take action upon it, and just have faith and belief in yourself. The King of Swords being the challenge, that's kind of like having the King of Swords upside down. The King of Swords is an entity or an individual who has a lot of clarity, very sharp, very smart, very clear, clearly spoken, clear thoughts, very focused, no equivocation, basically. So if this isn't the challenge, this kind of goes back to that Magician that we talked about. This is really talking about the fact that you need to be very clear about your goal and how to achieve your goal. What are the steps? Now, obviously, we can have an idea of all the steps towards the end result, but sometimes, obviously, along the way, you have to assess and see whether you're getting further along or not, and if you need to pivot and course correct. But the King of Swords being in the challenge is that you need to make sure that while you're taking action, you actually have clarity. You have clarity and focus of exactly what it is that you're looking to create, You know, because trying to manifest something fuzzy or unclear or very general will not be successful. Manifestation about having a very, very clear idea of what you want and then taking action, but then also letting it go. Let the universe respond back to you, right? So the King of Swords being your challenge, it's asking you to make sure that you're very clear about your goal, you're clear about what you want to achieve and create, and also clear about having a course of action of the step-by-step. And again, be a bit flexible, make sure that you course correct. But you do need to take action, you need to be clear, you need to be focused, and you need to be confident. And with the Six of Wands being your advice from Spirit, literally Six of Wands is a card of victory, achievement, and particularly in this case, in this spread, is about confidence. The advice from Spirit is that you need to tap into your sense of self-confidence and know that you have achieved goals before and you can do so again. This is available to you in terms of just knowing you can do something, having success. The Six of Wands comes after the Five of Wands, which is a card of conflict and competition, particularly. This is telling you that the advice from Spirit is that if you're clear and you take action in any area that you may actually even have competition, you will come out and be the successful individual in that arena. Whether you're competing in terms of business or a job interview or whatever it is, you know, with the clarity and focus and being well spoken and just direct, you will be successful. Just tap into your self-confidence. And you definitely will have people looking up to you and applauding you and supporting you at the same time. So that's a wonderful reading, Aries. Now, time for your yes or no question. We're going to do a quick yes or no. So take a moment and think about your question. I don't overthink it, whatever pops into your mind. And Spirit, this is for the Aries Collective. Is this going to be, what kind of answer are we going to have? This is for the Aries. Ready? And the answer is, interesting. I think this, to me, what I sense from this is going to be a yes if you move on from a place of sabotage or self-sabotage. This actually kind of is in line with some of this reading right here, and this being in the challenge. This is basically telling you, if you're asking about whether something will be successful, the answer is yes if you're clear in the way you're pursuing it and you're not sabotaging your efforts by not having a goal, not having plans, just kind of going off course, or if you achieve something, then backtracking because you're not used to a sense of, achievement. A lot of people, like, once they achieve a goal, they're not used to being at that level energetically of being successful, and they'll sabotage that and come back down again and start all over again. So this is a yes if you can move away from any tendency of self-sabotaging or being in your head, or just taking action that's not in congruence with the manifestation that you have a goal that you have set for yourself. So this is really asking you to be very discerning with your own shadow self, with your own tendencies that tend to undermine you and your efforts, and really try to work at intellectually. Again, this is the Six of Swords, is the card of thoughts and intellect. Intellectually move away from anything that you yourself or anyone around you will do to sabotage your efforts. Again, it calls for discernment and cutting away. You might love someone or you might be friends with someone, but if they're giving you negative feedback or just little snippy comments about why are you doing this, or like, how do you know you're going to be successful? Oh, that's such a reach. Of course I'm there for you, but that's such a reach. Even that is not very supportive. So be mindful of what you're hearing, and if you move away from that negative thought pattern or those little comments, whether internal, your own internal loop, or outside, you will be successful. All right, Aries, wonderful reading. I will see you in the next upload. Hi, Taurus. Let's see, what are the overall solar eclipse energies around you that will affect you or potentially could affect your zodiac sign? This is for the Taurus collective, Spirit. All right. Overall energy is the Seven of Pentacles. Your energy is the Six of Wands. The challenge is the Six of Swords. And the advice is Temperance. Lovely. Okay. So Seven of Pentacles, the energy around you. Seven of Pentacles is talking about investing time, effort, money. It's a long-term investment with the hopes of getting results. So this is really speaking to the fact that if you wanted to start a project or you're considering something, the energies around you support you as long as you understand that you need to invest time. This is not going to be an overnight success. It's not going to be in the next 2 weeks, you know, do this, and within the next 2 weeks you'll see the results of, I don't know, 30 pounds lost or $1 million. That's not it. You can achieve success, but you have to be ready for investing time and possibly money and resources in that project. And in any area of your life that you're looking at, whether relationship, again, this is not like one of those romance kind of novels. You got to work out a relationship. The Six of Wands is your energy. You are in a great energy. You're in energy of like confidence, knowing that who you are, what you can do, what you can achieve. Part of that has to do with the fact that you've had struggles and challenges in the past, but you've overcome them. And through those experiences, you have gained a level of self-confidence that tells you that yes, whatever you undertake, you can reach your goal. And you not only reach your goal, but you will be, for some of you, you'll be in the public eye, you'll be successful, people will look up to you. But particularly in this area, this is about you having achieved something in your life already that puts you in a place of, you know, fame. It could be a small community or it could be online, but also something that tells me that you have a lot of confidence, that people look up to you as well in that aspect. The Six of Swords being in your challenge is talking about a area in your life where you have some, you know, thoughts that are giving you pause. Basically, they're challenging you. I don't know, it could be different for each one of you, but again, there's some internal thoughts that are challenging you. You might feel not too good about a particular area of your life. You might question it. You might feel like it's challenging. And your challenge is to move on from that. Move on to calmer waters. The Six of Swords is a card of moving on from what has challenged us to calmer waters. But this, it takes, you know, you're taking with the swords being thoughts and experiences, you're taking your past experiences, your challenges, whatever has given you, you know, possibly heartache or difficult lessons. I will say difficult lessons in life. You're carrying those with you because you have learned your lessons, but you're moving on to fresher, newer opportunities. And Temperance being your advice from Spirit. Temperance is talking about time. Time, again, patience and healing. So the advice is that with time, whatever may have challenged you in the past, a particular area of your past, you will be healed. Healing is coming to you. It has taken some time, but it is here. And you have the ability, again, the Temperance card with Archangel Michael here is a card of alchemy. You are able to turn what was once challenging and painful into your success and confidence, basically. So this is, to me, this is quite a spiritual advice, quite a spiritual reading in terms of it affects your soul and its evolution through challenges and putting in the time and effort to heal and come out the other end feeling successful. And again, around you, anything new you want to do, you can undertake as long as you know that that also will take some time and investment and effort, but to go to distance, but it can go to distance. All right, Taurus, let's see. What is the yes or no question answer for you? So think about a question you have and don't overthink it. Think about your question. One more. Yeah. And, okay. Ready? Okay. Spirit, what's the answer? The answer is yes, it requires work. So the Eight of Pentacles coming after the Seven of Pentacles is a card of working and mastering something. So it's a yes, very much a yes to your question, yes. But it's also a card of it needs attention, it needs focus, it needs a certain level of mastery. Whether you're applying for a job, whether you are getting into a relationship, whether you're starting a business, whether you're looking to move, buy a new home, it requires focus and work at it. Both of these cards are cards of time and being patient and something not being overnight. So this individual has perfected his craft and his skills over a period of time. The Seven of Pentacles precedes this. So this requires time to get to a level where you can then move towards what you're asking about. But the answer to that question is a yes. All right, Taurus, this was your reading for the solar eclipse, pre-solar eclipse energies. I will see you in the next upload. Hi, Gemini. Let's see, what are the pre-solar eclipse energies for you? Spirit, this is for the Gemini collective. What can you tell us? So first card is going to be the overall energy. Second card is your energy. Third card is the challenge. And fourth card is Spirit's advice. Okay, so we have the Four of Cups, the Tower, the Eight of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles. With the Four of Cups being the overall energy, this is an energy of being somewhat apathetic. You're at a point, the collective is at a point where nothing is really interesting and nothing is inspiring you. Although there are options that are all around you, you're kind of ignoring them. You're not taking action on those. You're not accepting those. You're not entertaining those. You're looking at what's occurred in the past and what you've had in the past, what you've experienced, and you're at a point where you're sort of not getting any satisfaction from them, but you're also you're not looking towards the future. The collective is kind of stuck in a place where through boredom, through apathy, and sometimes through procrastination, they're not looking forward. With the Tower being your energy, this to me is talking about the fact that there's a moment of you waking up to the fact that you do need to make a choice. You do need to look forward. The Tower comes to destroy anything that is untenable, a foundation that is shaky, something that again is built on a faulty foundation. But this to me tells me that there's something in your life, there could be aspects of your life where you sense that something is going to fall apart and you do need to address it. And I don't get the impression that this is something that you don't see coming. Maybe subconsciously, I would say subconsciously you feel it, even if you don't want to unnecessarily face it, but I think you have that moment of reckoning. With the Eight of Wands being in your challenge, Eight of Wands is a card of activity, a lot of forward movement, messages, momentum, even some travel. With this being in the challenge position, it really speaks to the fact that you've been, or the collective has been, in apathetic, sort of stuck energy here. And this is your challenge. You need to take action. You need to move forward. You need to open the floodgates of, options and look forward. And even if you don't have a floodgate of options, but you need to look forward and actually start taking action. This, again, being in the challenge position, it's telling me, the challenge would be like this, that there's no action, there's stagnation. So this is what the challenge is. And with Spirit giving you the Page of Pentacles as advice is that don't think it and don't be overwhelmed. Just take the first steps towards what inspires you. The Page of Pentacles is a student. He or she basically takes many steps. Like this is about research, taking the first steps, looking into something new. This is the seed that he's looking at. This is the pentacle. He's really just focused on that pentacle, what he can do with it, how to study it or studying it, and how to grow it. So this is the advice from Spirit, is take action with small steps, but get out of this stagnation phase for the collective, and for you specifically, whomever this resonates with. Study your options, take action, small steps at a time. That's how you're going to get to something more meaningful down the line. But you do need to come out of this period of being stuck, because being stuck is going to lead you to things kind of falling apart. You know, there's no such thing as, you know, kind of, I think the truth is that either things are improving or they're getting worse. There's no such thing as kind of keeping the status quo. And this is speaking to that, that, you know, you need to take action for whatever is faulty in your life to turn around. All right, Gemini, that's your reading. And now we're going to do a quick yes and no question. So think of your question. Take a pause and think of your question, whatever pops into your mind. I'm not going to take that because I wasn't done with my question. And when you're ready, I'm going to pull a card to see what the answer is. Spirit answers. Okay. Spirit, this is for the Gemini collective question. What's the answer? It's a yes. The answer to your question is a yes. The Knight of Cups is, you know, it can be a messenger, but this is an energy of someone who is moving forward. Not necessarily galloping, but moving forward, and especially someone who's really in touch with their emotion, with their heart. They're very gentle and they're loving. This is about you knowing that whatever you're asking, the question is the answer is yes, and just move forward and just have an open heart. Be open to whatever life brings you. Take your action and just expect the best, because this energy really lines up with something beautiful coming back to you. All right, Gemini, that was your reading. We'll see you in the next upload. Hi, Cancer. Let's see, what are the pre-eclipse energies for you? This is for Cancer Spirit. One more. Okay, first card is going to be the overall energy around you. Beautiful. Second card is your energy. Third card is the challenge. Fourth card is the advice. Wow. Okay. We have the Ten of Cups, Justice card, the King of Wands, and the Nine of Cups. So with the Ten of Cups being the overall energy, this is a energy of joy, contentment, satisfaction, emotional equilibrium, and happiness. The Ten of Cups is really a collective sense of a community, a family, sense of well-being, getting along together, loving each other. There's a lot of love, just openness in this card and in the environment around you. With Justice being your energy, this is talking about you are in a place where you are both seeking and receiving a balance of what you're putting out and what you're receiving. Basically, the efforts you're putting in, whether it's your job, whether it's your family, whether it's your community, any area in your life, this is speaking to the fact that there is a sense of balance. What you're putting out, you're getting back. There's not this disparity where you're feeling like you're overworked or you're not getting what you're putting out. So this is, again, this is your sense of wellness. In fact, it's sort of speaking to the fact that in effect, after maybe a certain period of time, you are finally seeing this return on investment. You may not have had it before, but at this point you do see it. And you do feel like there's a sense of fairness in different aspects of your life that matter to you. With the King of Wands being in your challenge, the King of Wands is really just a driven, confident entrepreneur, a charismatic, smart, just energetic. So this is really speaking to the fact that if you're really considering something, that you're considering taking action on something, what's possibly a challenge to you is having the confidence, sort of the energy to go after it. So this is something that you need to tap into, is your sense of confidence and taking action. The King of Wands, again, if he is challenged, it means that he's not really fully trusting his or her own powers, his or her own abilities or knowledge. But again, the idea is taking action will lead you to acquire confidence. Confidence doesn't precede action. Confidence comes from action. Now, you certainly have had prior endeavors in the past that you've taken action upon and have had a measure of success. So that alone, the fact that we've done things before and we've succeeded before, should give you a level of confidence. So even if you don't have enough information about what you're trying to do, it's fine, because you've done it before, you can do it again. So tap into that your King of Wands energy. And the Nine of Cups being your advice, really Spirit is telling you to tap into your heart. The Nine of Cups is a beautiful card. This is about wish fulfillment. It's about reaching for the stars and having your wish come true, but it's also a card of individually, as opposed to the Ten of Cups, individually being super happy and satisfied and feel like you have joy and you have a sense of well-being that's specific to you in different areas of your life. So the advice is really tapping into that personal sense of confidence that you have, that personal sense of satisfaction and loving yourself and knowing that you can rely on yourself to take action actually and go after your dreams. So that's a beautiful spread all around. All the cards are so positive, and even with the King of Wands being in a challenge, this is not something that's out of reach, because if the King of Wands is upside down, it means that you do already have the ability of a King of Wands, the characteristics of the King of Wands. You just need to tap into it and sort of push yourself by believing in yourself, by loving yourself, by knowing that you've done it before and you can do it again. Beautiful read. Now we're going to do a quick yes or no question. So think about a question that you have, whatever pops into your mind, and we'll see what Spirit has for you. All right, Spirit, this is for Cancer. All right, ready? What is the answer to their question, Spirit? That's a yes. The Four of Wands is a card of stability, celebration, achievement. You'll see the individual here, they're celebrating. It could be a graduation, it could be a wedding, it could be some sort of event where you've achieved a goal already and you're celebrating. So this is a massive yes to you. And it's also the quote-unquote 1111 card with the Four of Wands here. So Spirit is also with you. Like, this is to me a very spiritual message as well, that yes, we're with you, and the answer to your question is a yes. All these cards are amazing, and I do see quite a bit of yellow. Well, yellow is the color of your solar plexus, which is the I am, and the I will actually concept of being able to take action and being confident. That's a beautiful reading. All right, Cancer, I will see you in the next upload. Hello, Leo. First of all, happy birthday to all the Leos. Wishing you a wonderful birthday year. So now let's see, Spirit, what are the pre-eclipse energies for the Leos that are watching? One more. Okay, so first card is going to be the overall energy around you. Second card is your energy. Third card is the challenge. Fourth card is the advice. Okay, beautiful. We have the Three of Pentacles, the Lovers, the Eight of Wands, and the Ten of Cups. So with the overall energy around you being the Three of Pentacles, there's an energy of collaboration and cooperation and community around you. The Three of Pentacles could be you being in a community where you're working together, where you're doing a project together, where you're involved, whether it's a committee, whatever it might be. There's an energy of community and support and collaboration around you. So if you're considering joining or doing something with other people, this is telling you this is a good time, because you can put yourself out there, you can put your skills out there, and you will have an audience, and you also will have support. Now with the Lovers here as your energy, so there are two different messages that are coming through. This could be you actually having met somebody that you think is your soulmate and your partner. So, or, you know, and it could be not just a soulmate partner, it could be somebody that you're really aligned with that you've met. It could be a friend, it could be a colleague, it could be a workplace boss, but it's like fated and you feel really, really aligned with them. The alternative is that you are actually looking to make a choice. It's a pivotal choice in your life that you're making. And for each one of you, it'll be different. It could be a job, a career, leaving a job, starting your own business, leaving a partnership, starting another one, getting into a relationship. If you have been single for a long time, it could be any number of things. But there's a sense of alignment in what you're considering stepping into that you feel already. The Eight of Wands being your challenge. Eight of Wands is a card of activity, motion, communication, lots of motion and communication, basically. And when this is the challenge, kind of like if it were to be upside down, this is telling me that your challenge right now is to take action. So it could be that you are considering a decision, but you're not 100% sure, or if you do feel the alignment, you're kind of hesitating on taking action. And so this is telling you that you need to sort of look into it and assess it, but at the end of the day, once you've made your decision, the proper course would be to start taking action. And once you take action, that's where you get momentum and where you get like some results and feedback on whether this is the correct decision. So, and obviously if it's not a linear line, you could always course correct, but really the suggestion is to overcome maybe some limbo state, stagnation state, and take action. With the Ten of Cups being your advice, this is really telling you that you're going to again have a lot of support. There's the Ten of Cups refers to just all around happiness, not just within you but around you, in your family, friends, whether it's a blood family or chosen family, your community. There's a lot of love and there's a lot of support for you. So whatever you decide to do and move upon, like, you will have a lot of support, and just you know, feel content that you're not necessarily alone and people will be cheering you on. So this is a beautiful reading as well. So Leo, let's see what is going to be your yes or no question. So think about a question that you have, and we're going to ask Spirit for a yes or no answer. Just whatever pops into your mind. Don't overthink it. All right, Spirit, this is for Leo. What is the answer to their question? So the Four of Swords to me is a card of reflection. So it's not a no and it's not a yes. It's a card of take a pause and really reflect on what it is that you're seeking. So just, again, you could say traditionally it's a meditation card, but I think the answer also for me is a little bit of there's a waiting period. So even though I don't feel like this is a no, there's a waiting period before you determine, before things come into play, which will allow it to come to pass, whatever you're asking about. But for right now, it's a period of pause, and it's a period of like you really taking it slow and maybe meditating on it. And if it's an action, and if you're asking about someone else, again, there's a period of pause. So it's not a no, but you have to give it some time and then see after this period what the first steps might be to get a better sense of it. So give it some time, you know, don't wait on anybody. I'm not saying waiting on anybody, but in terms of waiting for an answer, live your best life and see what comes of it. And even if it's for a job, again, there may be other people in, you know, interviewing or whatever it might be. There's a period of pause. So you do your work in terms of applying elsewhere or whatever you need to do, look elsewhere, but just give it some time and then you can go from there. All right, Rio, that is your reading. And again, happy birthday. We'll see you in the next upload. Hi, Virgo. Let's look at the pre-eclipse energies for you. Okay, we're going to start with the overall energy around you, your energy, the challenge, and Spirit's advice. Okay. Overall energy around you is the Ten of Pentacles. This is an energy of stability, of wealth, of being really secure in one's life. So this is just not financially, but it's also like a family, it's tradition, it's overall, the Pentacles represent our 3D world. So this energy is available to you. There's this sense of well-being, the sense of stability. You don't feel anxiety or tension. It's not you, but in terms of the energy around you is amenable to this state of feeling secure and stable and financially very, very, well off, basically. Or at least you're not just meeting your needs, but you can exceed those in terms of whatever you want to purchase or whatever you want to do. With the moon being your energy, the moon is a card of, shadows and fears. So this could be that you have some fears that you really are kind of controlling you at this point. Whether it's fears, it'll depend for each one of you. It's different in terms of fears about the future, fears about whether it's financial or health or family. But it also can be about secrets. Maybe there's certain fears about, some secrets that within your family or your work, something is off. You sense something is off, but you don't really know what it is. So this is talking about certain fears that you have but you don't really know where it's coming from, but you sense something is off. With the Seven of Cups being in the challenge, again, the Seven of Cups is a card of options and choices, but it's also a card of illusions and fantasies. So it actually sort of ties into the moon in that it talks about not having clarity necessarily. There are lots of choices and options, but knowing which to choose is really key, because some of these options are not really long-term or even short-term beneficial. So this ties into it as this being a challenge, kind of like basically telling you it's upside down, is that you really need to be able to use your discernment and cut away from anything that is in front of you or around you that gives you a sense of instability or fear, or you sense maybe there's an offer, but you sense there are red flags. So this is kind of challenging you to sort of be more discerning, and really once you feel that, cut that away. And that cutting away is actually with your advice. Your advice is to move on. The Six of Swords is a card of moving on from anything that gives you conflict, a sense of conflict, a sense of anxiety. It comes after the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is a card of feeling defeated or sabotage. So this is telling me the advice is really cut away and move on from anything that's giving you a pause or red flags, where your instinct is telling you something is not on the up and up. So you do feel it internally, deep down, and it's in front of you, but you just need to not be in a state where you think, well, at least it's an option, because frankly, we can choose something out of desperation, but let's say a job, but there are a lot of red flags and you already kind of know it, but you need an income. And this is basically telling you just this, it would not be worth it, because pretty quickly, if not down the line, you're going to come to regret it. It's not going to be to your benefit. And there are better opportunities around you. You just have to give it a little bit of time, maybe more open, maybe network more, because the Ten of Pentacles is a card of, again, financial stability, opportunities, longevity, wealth. All of that is around you. So whatever you have going on, Spirit is advising you to move on from, because you instinctively feel like it's not what it's cracked up to be. Okay, now we're going to do the yes and no question. So whatever your question is, Virgo, whatever pops into your mind, we're going to ask Spirit for a quick yes or no. Okay, ready? Let's see. This is a no. This is a no to me. This literally is going with this whole concept here. The tower is basically something that falls apart, comes down because it was built on a shaky foundation, on an unstable foundation, a foundation that had cracks in it. So this, if you're asking about a particular offer, opportunity, quote unquote, that's in front of you that you don't feel 100% about, you feel like it's not very clear what's being offered to you, you're kind of confused, you have red flags, already Spirit has kind of advised you to move on. The Tower is telling you this will come down. This will not last. One way or the other, this is a faulty foundation for this particular option that's in front of you. It will not necessarily be to your benefit. It will actually be untenable. So that is your reading for today, Virgo. I will see you in the next upload. Hi, Libra. Let's see, what are the pre-eclipse energies that are available to you or around you that will impact you? One more. And all right, so starting with the overall energy around you, we're going to go to your energy, your challenge, and Spirit's advice. Okay, we have the Six of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, the King of Wands, and the Three of Wands. So Six of Swords being the overall energy around you. This is an energy of moving on from conflict, trouble, a period of challenges, and moving on to calmer waters. So again, this is the energy around you. So it's supporting your ability to move on from whatever may have challenged you. So the swords represent the thoughts. It's the air element, so it could be anything, any aspect of your life that has given you a lot of maybe anxiety and fears and conflict, internal mental conflict. This is supporting it by telling you it's time to move on, and if you do move on from it to, you know, something brand new and just kind of put it behind you, you will actually reach a more calmer, more peaceful state of being. The Wheel of Fortune being your energy. This is a major arcana. This is a fated change. It's a change of direction. It's a change of fortune. It's a great complement to the Six of Swords, because it's talking about the fact that whatever was challenging, that is coming to an end. It is fated in your life that this period of whatever you've gone through, according to this would be, again, a period of challenge and hardship. It is coming to an end, and good fortune is on its way, and this is your specific energy. So this is meant for you, and it could be any area of your life. Again, it could be health, it could be employment, it could be starting your business, and maybe you have started a business and you had a hard beginning, because most businesses are, you know, not necessarily easy to take off the ground. But this is showing that after a lengthy period, a period of time, the wheel of fortune is turning and bringing good fortune into your life. Now, the King of Wands being in the challenge, the King of Wands is a very charismatic, dynamic, smart, energetic entrepreneur and individual who goes after what they're wanting to achieve. So this being in your challenge is basically telling you that you may be lacking that confidence right now. Challenge is like having the King of Wands in the upside down. So you might be lacking the confidence, you're not really taking action, you're kind of hemming and hawing, you're sort of a little bit of a little slow going. But this being here is telling you that you have what it takes to now go forward, like full force go forward after what it is that you want, because the Wheel of Fortune is supporting you. The tides are turning in your favor. So this is the time to take action and to go after what you're looking for, what you're looking to achieve, and have your clear goal in mind, and take the appropriate action. The Three of Wands being the advice is the Three of Wands, while it can be a card of waiting, it's also a card of expansion. So Spirit is actually telling you it's time to expand. Whatever you've moved on from, it's fated for you, for your fortune to turn to you know, to a much more positive state. You just need to take action, because right now it is fated for you to expand your life, expand the quality of your life. All of those energies are supporting you to take action and just reach a much better place in your life than where you've been, in terms of just advancing, again, quality of your life. Awesome. So now we're going to look into a yes or no question. All right, this is for, all these cards want to turn already, but we got to ask. This is for Libra. Ask your question. And Spirit, let's see. What is the answer? The answer is, I would say, a no, whatever you're asking, because the Seven of Swords is a card of deception, lies, kind of cheating traditionally, but it's a card of strategy. So this is telling you whatever you're asking, it needs, on the surface, I would say it's a no. And if you're asking about taking particular action, it's telling you it's not just a straight yes. You really need to think about it. And if you really, really have your heart set on something, you need to be a lot more strategic about it, because it may have kind of some landmines, some you know, red flags here and there that you're not necessarily seeing clearly. So the first answer is no. The second one is if you're really, really dead set on a particular action, if it's about yourself, I would say really think about it hard and try to find a strategy that actually supports you, that is, you know, looks into all the details, and take your time. If it's about other people, again, you might want to avoid whatever it is that they're offering you, because it's not on the up and up. It's not honest. There's an agenda. There's something going on here. So to me, I would honestly say look for something else. There's lots of options out there. There are lots of people out there. There are lots of options out there. You know, just take your time, value yourself, and go from there. All right, Libra, that is your answer for today and your reading for today. I will see you in the next upload. Hi, Scorpio. Let's see, what are the pre-eclipse, solar eclipse energies for the Scorpio collective? First card is going to be the overall energy. Second card is going to be your energy. Third card is the challenge. And fourth card is the advice. Okay. So we have the Six of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, and the Three of Pentacles. So the overall energy being the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is a card of victory. It's a card of being in the spotlight, being victorious, being a high achiever, someone that people are looking up to. Again, it could be in the spotlight in terms of whether you're on social media or somewhere else, people are looking up to you, but it could be in your community. It could be something where basically the energy around you is one of victory and being looked up to. So this is supporting you in terms of if you're engaged in any kind of endeavor, or you're thinking about starting something. This is telling you that the energy around you is one where you will achieve success and people will be looking up to you. So take a chance. This is a good period to engage in something, whatever you have your heart and mind set on, because the energy supports you. Your energy being at the two of Pentacles, in fact, this kind of ties into it because I was reading that already. It's about you. So there are a couple of things. You're kind of handling multiple responsibilities at this time, and trying to determine what's more important, what's a priority, kind of balancing, doing a balancing act. But I think the balancing act may not be able, you may not sustain it too long, and you have to really determine what is a priority. It also can mean that you are looking at multiple options in order to maybe take action on one of them, and trying to figure out which one will be successful. This is telling you again that whichever one you do pick, it will be successful. And this ties into the Page of Wands being your challenge in terms of which one do I pick though, which route do I choose. The Spirit is basically telling you what you need to do here. I mean, I'm talking about Spirit, but this being the challenge is that you're not really tapping into a sense of joy and adventure. Your decision, you might be too logical about it. What's gonna like pay this much, or what's gonna do that, or what's gonna give me a certain metric that I'm looking for. And the challenge here is that you're not tapping into your joy and your spirit of adventure and fun. And that's what you need to tap into to make that decision, is something that, you know, you just want to pursue something because it's calling to your soul. Your soul lights up when you think about it. It's not about metrics or, you know, the outcome of a dollar amount or anything like that. It's really something that calls to your soul, and you feel compelled to take action upon it, because it's something that just you may set it aside for a while, but it comes back to your mind as to something that would give you a sense of well-being, just something fun. And advice from Spirit with the Three of Pentacles is, again, put yourself out there. There's going to be a community who will look up to you. There'll be people who can work with you. There'll be cooperation. So don't be scared. You know, don't think too hard about, well, am I going to have support? Yes, you will have support. The Three of Pentacles is a card of community, cooperation, people looking up to the person here who is showcasing their talent. So you'll have people supporting you and encouraging you and being there to root for you, and eventually also looking up to you. This is a beautiful reading. Just tap into your heart and into your sense of adventure and fun, and take a chance. All the cards indicate victory and cooperation and support for you down the line. All right, Scorpio, let's see a yes or no question from you. Spirit, this is for Scorpio. This is a yes or no question. Let's see, one more actually. What is the answer to their question? Ready, Scorpio? That's a yes. That's a yes. I love this because the Wheel of Fortune is actually such a compliment to these as well. This is about the fact that it's a fated turn of fortune for you. This is fated. This being a major arcana, this talks about the fact that after a certain period of time, fortune will turn, and again, the wheel will turn and will turn into, you know, will put you in a more beneficial place. So whatever you're asking, it may have taken some time, it may take a little bit of time, but it's fated to turn in your favor and to be to your advantage. So that's a yes. Maybe give it a little bit of time, but again, it may be quickly, it's coming, but for each of one of you, obviously it's different. Whether you're asking about work, relationship, possibly health, whatever it might be, take that kind of action. And again, even if it's not tied to that, with respect to your own specific question, it's a yes. I'm not exactly sure what the timing is, but it's a fated yes. Beautiful. All right, Scorpio, this was your reading for the pre-eclipse energies. I will see you in the next upload. Hi, Sagittarius. Let's see, what are the pre-eclipse energies for the collective of Sagittarius? And one more. We're starting with the overall energy. Then it's going to be your energy. Next is the challenge. And then the advice. Okay. So we have the Nine of Pentacles, the World, the Two of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands. The overall energy being a Nine of Pentacles, this is an energy of, first and foremost to me, is financial independence and just independence all around. The individual in the Nine of Pentacles is somebody who's worked hard for their Nine Pentacles and has achieved this level of financial freedom and stability through their own work. This financial freedom and stability is solely related and due to themselves. This is not through a spouse. It's not through an inheritance. This is somebody who's very confident, and a lot of times this also includes somebody who is single. So the energy around you is one of really financial well-being that you can achieve on your own without needing to resort to someone else or rely on someone else for that. With the world being your energy, you are closing a chapter, or a chapter in your life has closed or is closing right now, and you're successfully closing that chapter. The world being the last card of the major arcana, is the last card, the first card being the Fool. It represents the Fool's journey all the way to the end, where the Fool sort of graduates and finishes that journey and is successfully accomplished what it needed to learn, he or she needed to learn through that journey. I probably should be putting something on that naked person. Hopefully YouTube won't see it. But this is, again, you have achieved something very successfully, and it's been a challenging road. But for instance, whether you have achieved, like you've graduated or you have moved on to the next phase. I have a really good friend who's a Sagittarius, and this is a card of completion of a large part of her life, where now she owns a home and she's moved into the next section or sector of her life, or a different space altogether. So congratulations on your achievement here. The Two of Pentacles being a card of sort of a juggling. This is your challenge, is that you may be juggling different responsibilities, or you may be looking at different options. This card can be read multiple ways. You're looking at different options moving forward after this completion. It's the next stage of your life, and it affects your financial well-being. You're looking at how to proceed now, different responsibilities you have. Again, it's the 3D world, and what comes next. And the challenge being that you really need to sit down and assess what's a priority, what are the things that are now important to you that may not have been important before, but now have taken a precedence or, front and center for you. And with the Four of Wands being the card of advice, the Four of Wands is a card of stability, but celebration and achievement and completion as well in itself. The Four of Wands is also the 1111 card. To me, it's a spiritual card. This is Spirit really literally advising you, which is basically telling you to really look forward to the next stage as something that allows you to have a sense of joy and, celebration. This is no longer really about stability, in that I feel like you kind of already have that, but it's also about tapping into your joy and tapping into all those areas of your life that will give you a sense of, fun, and where if you pursue it, you will also celebrate with those around you. You will invite other people into your life that are aligned with you and will, celebrate the same endeavors with you. So just think about it, weigh your options, see what lights you up, see what's important to you now, and take action, and just really go from a place of celebration and joy and happiness, and you will achieve that Four of Wands, the stability. You'll continue to have that, but also bring in the joy into your life as well. Okay, so Sagittarius, let's see a yes or no question. Oops, let me grab something to fill out. Whatever comes to your mind, a quick yes or no question. Spirit, this is for Sagittarius. All right, you ready? And let's see, what is the answer? Yes. Oh my God, yes. Six of Cups is a card of unconditional love. Oh my God, I love this card. It's a cup of unconditional love. It's a cup of, just unconditional love from, your friends, your family, people around you, but it's also your spirit team, your passed on loved ones. This is prior life soulmates. It's just all around love. You see one child offering flowers to the next one, and it's just without really expecting anything back. So This is a yes. Whatever you're asking, you're going to be supported. You're loved. You're supported, whether it's through people around you, through friends and family, or through your spiritual team. So a big, big, loving, in fact, loving yes to your question. Beautiful reading, Sagittarius. All right, I will see you in the next upload. Hi, Capricorn. Let's see what are the pre-solar eclipse energies that affect your collective. One more. First card is going to be the overall energy around you. Second card is going to be your energy. Third card is the challenge. Fourth card is the advice. Wow. Okay. You have 3 major arcana cards out of 4. That is pretty impressive. Major arcana cards are fated cards that indicate pivotal junctures in your life that are meant, you know, that were fated in your destiny, basically, that are meant to occur in your life. Now, starting with the Hermit being the overall energy. The Hermit is, first of all, it's a Virgo card, but it's a card of introspection. The Hermit comes to you basically after a period of possibly challenge, possibly struggle, something that you had to learn, and where you had to withdraw within yourself and consult your inner wisdom. The Hermit is gaining wisdom through the star that's in his or her own lantern. So it's your inner light, your inner wisdom is what's giving you a sense of learned lesson, basically. And you're gaining all the wisdom from what you've been through. And it indicates a period of being solitary and withdrawing one's energy. So this being around you, this is a period of possibly sort of retracing and taking an assessment of where you are in your life or particular areas of your life. And so if you feel this urge to just kind of hold on to your energy, pull back your energy, and sort of shore your own resources back up, and energetic resources back up, this is supporting you. It's telling you maybe it is time to, instead of just being go out there with people, around people, and sort of leaking your energy, pull it back, take some pause, and collect yourself. The World being your energy, this is a card of accomplishment. This, in fact, somewhat does speak to that in terms of the World being the last card of major arcana. It shows the last step of the Fool's journey. Tarot starts with the major arcana, start with the Fool all the way to the World. It's a card of accomplishment, accomplishing what you had set out to do, what you set out to accomplish through a particular endeavor in your life. It's a particular stage of your life that's ending. Whether you're graduating, whether you're moving up in terms of your job, whether you're going from being employed to being self-employed and starting your own business, whether you go from being single to married or vice versa, or being parents to being empty nesters now. This is a card of accomplishment. You have accomplished a particular section of your life, stage of your life, and you're ready for the next stage. And again, it's a card of not just an ending, it's an accomplishment. Just what you've learned through the process in itself is a beautiful gift. Life may be challenging, but we learn through the process, and those lessons really make us stronger and give us more confidence. Page of Wands being your challenge is about, this is kind of like having the Page of Wands in the reverse. The Page of Wands is an energy that's open, fun, energetic, enthusiastic, asks questions, takes chances. He or she taps into his or her inner joy, has a sense of adventure, and is just prompted to explore. So this being in your challenge, it's telling you to be playful, have fun. Your next step should be something, if you're considering what's the next step, instead of thinking big, long term, what am I going to do, what's the huge next accomplishment, and that could be a Capricorn thing, that I have to embark upon. Take a pause and really just give yourself a brief moment to just tap into your joy and your childlike wonder and take chances. Go explore things. Go have fun. You know, whatever appeals to you. Just test out different things, and you know, don't just be very analytical. Just kind of be let your soul and the fire in your soul give you an indication of where to go next and what to explore. You know, it doesn't mean that you have to commit yourself to something. You could just test out different avenues, things that you may have put off before because you had too many responsibilities. This is the time to now let loose and just try out different things. Judgment, being a card of advice, really is asking you. Judgment is, first of all, such a beautiful card. To me, when I look at judgment, is not just second chances, but it's rising up from a slumber. To me, this always represents you kind of giving birth a second time to what used to light you up as a child. You know, what used to like inspire and feed your soul. You know, there's this archangel is like calling you to wake up from where the type of life that you've had that may have been very, you know, laden with responsibilities and nose to the grind and just doing for others, to revive what used to give you pleasure, what used to make you excited about being alive. So it's a judgment call in that you are, you know, judging in terms of looking back at what you've accomplished, and now there's a clarion call to start the next phase through tapping into what gives you joy and just having a sense of adventure. That's a beautiful reading, Capricorn. Okay, now we're going to do a yes or no question. And so whatever comes to mind, this is just, you know, don't overthink it. The cards kind of multiple cards want to come out at the same time. Okay, Capricorn, are you ready? So, Spirit, this is for Capricorn. Is this a yes or no? Oh my Lord, you have yet another major arcana card. That is incredible, and it's the best card in the tarot deck. The Sun. The Sun is, I mean, an absolute categoric yes. The Sun is the card of full happiness. Look at that. It's the child again. It's about tapping into your childlike wonder. It's about clarity. It's about openness. It's about love. Literally, the Sun is the most beautiful card. It's about happiness. It's just having it all. So there's a massive, massive yes, with a call to tap into, you know, that part of you that you may have put to sleep or just set aside for a long time because it was not rational, it was not logical, it was more like a childlike wonder and fun. It's calling you to tap into that for that next phase of your life. What an incredible reading, Capricorn. Okay, I will see you in the next upload. Hello, Aquarius. Let's see, what are the pre-eclipse energies? Oops, well, one of them, that was going to be the first card. That's the general energy. And then let's go with the second one is your energy. Third one is the challenge. And fourth one is Spirit's advice. Okay. I love how the Magician like turned immediately. It was meant for you. It needed to be seen. So we have the Magician, the Ace of Wands, the Three of Wands, and the King of Cups. The Magician being the overall energy. This is a card that says whatever you want to do, or any of the collective wants to do, you can do. The Magician has all the elements, all of the 4 elements of the tarot at its disposal, and needs to take action. As above, so below. It can, he or she, or the Magician can manifest any intention, any goal, but this is a card of also action. A lot of people think this is just about manifesting, like you're thinking about it and visualizing it and seeing it and feeling it, but it's very much a card of action, active action. So this energy is around you. So if you want to create something, manifest something, start something, embark on a new adventure of any kind, the energy around you is one of manifestation and the ability to manifest it for yourself. So feel that confidence and take the proper action. for your energy is the Ace of Wands. That definitely goes hand in hand. The Ace of Wands, the Wands is right here as well. The Ace of Wands is you are interested in something brand new. There's a new offer coming your way. It's already there, or you already have that thought in your mind. The Ace of Wands is a seed of creativity. It's something brand new. Generally, it's entrepreneurial, creative. It can be relationship. It's more of a, more like a sexual relationship to start out with, but it can turn into love. We have that one at the end. So this is a brand new seed to plant. But again, the wands, the aces are just a seed. You need to take action. Again, it's just not about like thinking about it, visualizing, and just kind of being unfocused in terms of how to achieve it. Once you plant something, you have to nurture it, you have to water it, you have to provide the soil, you have to provide the sunlight for it to grow. But this is where you're at. There's something being offered to you, or you already know about it, or it's something that you're considering because Spirit put that idea in your head as far as a new business, new endeavor, new adventure, maybe a new, again, it could be anything new. It depends on each one of you. The Three of Wands being in the challenge is basically this, right? The Three of Wands does talk about expansion, but also talks about a certain period of waiting. So the challenge could be that you might be a little bit of a hurry to see it come to pass. But this is, again, it's a card of taking action and giving the amount of time needed for that seed to grow. This is a card of patience. And so if it's in the upside down, like as a challenge, it could indicate that you are sort of impatient, but you're asked to show patience. You're asked to put your head down and invest and put your heart in it, because again, it's wands. It's something that speaks to your heart and your soul. It's exciting, it's creative, it's fun, but you have to also give it some time for it to come to pass. But it is a card of expansion. It's going to allow your life to expand. With the King of Cups being your card of advice, this is telling you that along with your enthusiasm and excitement, really think in terms of tap into your heart. Also include a little bit of a balance between excitement and emotional stability. So the emotional stability literally goes to the Three of Wands, because if you are being impatient, this shows a certain level of emotional, kind of not being stable emotionally. The King of Wands is an individual who is emotionally very, very stable. They may not express their emotions, but they're very sort of maintain an even keel in terms of their emotions are not up and down. Whereas with the Wands, if you're being challenged there, you could have you could have a bit of an, one day you're excited and the next day you're like, why is this not happening, going up and down. And this is asking you to exercise a level of emotional balance. As well, I will say that if you are looking to, this could be possibly a relationship that you're looking to embark into or upon with someone, and it could be somewhat more physical in the beginning. Give it some time and bring in a little of, not a little, but bring in a level of emotional, involvement in there as well, because that the love part will also come in time, but you got to give it some time. Again, it could be just a lot of attraction in the beginning, but and you can have a little bit of impatience for it to turn into something more. Be patient, because it will turn into something steadier long term. Okay. All right, Aquarius, let's see. What is the answer to your yes or no question? So time for your yes or no question. Take a moment. Think of whatever your question is. Don't overthink it. And we're going to ask Spirit for an answer. All right, Spirit, this is for the Aquarius collective. What is the answer to their question? That's a yes. Very much a yes. The Six of Wands, you have a lot of wands here. The Six of Wands is a card of victory. The Six of Wands is a card of achievement. It's a card of, being looked upon, looked up to, not upon, but looked up to in admiration and respect. This is somebody who has gone through some challenge. It comes after the Five of Wands, which is a card of competition and conflict. this individual has gone through challenges but has come out victorious, and people are noticing that. So this is very much a card of, yes, you will have victory in whatever you've asked about. You will have a sense of victory and accomplishment. So that is your reading for today, Aquarius, for the pre-solar eclipse energies. All right, I will see you in the next upload. Hello, Pisces. Let's see, what are the pre-solar eclipse energies that are available to you, that surround you, that apply to the Pisces collective? One more. Starting with the first card being the overall energy. Second card is your energy. Third card is the challenge. Fourth card is Spirit's advice. Okay. So we have the Seven of Cups, the Two of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and the Justice card. Seven of Cups is talking about choices, that's true, but also in line with everything else that I'm seeing here, it's talking about illusions and fantasies and options, but not every option available is a great option. Some are really just not that beneficial, but they look at first glance, they look like viable options. So this is the energy around you. It could be that in any area of your life, or for the Pisces collective, there are different things that are appealing to you, that are being offered to you, that are around you. It could be any area of your life, whether it's relationships, career, a project, anything that's around you, or anything that you're considering yourself. I think there's a little bit of a lack of, it could be a lack of discernment. There's a lot of options, but again, you have to be careful because some of them are not, in fact, beneficial. There are different kinds of elements in all these cups. Not all are good. I mean, we have a snake, etc. The Two of Swords being your energy. Two of Swords is a card of indecision, being at a crossroad. And this person has a blindfold, so you're not necessarily seeing clearly. And you have, with the waters behind, a little bit of turbulent waters. It's the emotions are not necessarily stable, and the heart is not open. With the Two Swords indicate thoughts. It indicates, your mind, your intellect. There are two different ways you can go, and they're in equal measure options for you. This is a card that normally asks you to take a pause, to assess and really go deep inside and access your intuition, because you may not have full clarity outside as far as what is a good option and what is not a good option, but you need to take a pause. Don't rush it. Don't rush the decision. Try to calm your emotions, maybe meditate. Meditation is wonderful. I love meditation and I practice it daily. And tap into your higher self to determine what's the best option. The Eight of Swords being in the challenge, that's kind of like this. This is basically saying that you are you don't have clarity, and you're in a state of analysis paralysis. And this individual can unbind themselves from the binding that they have is not necessarily super tight. You have the two cards in tarot with blindfold on. So you're not necessarily seeing clearly. There are other options, but your thoughts about what's available to you are very specific and kind of limiting, and they're putting you in a box of as far as what you think is available to you, as far as the options, the choices, the solutions available to you. You're sort of set on a certain number of, or maybe one or two options for you. But this being the challenge is basically telling you there's more available to you. You just need to take the blindfold off and just think outside the box, and mostly really get outside of your head and that preset mindset you have that this needs to work out this way or that way, and what's going to be the outcome. The solution may be something completely different from what you're considering right now. But this is asking you to again, take your time, be discerning, and really think outside the box, and be more discerning about what you're considering, because some of them are just not that great. With Justice card being your advice from Spirit. Spirit is very much talking about, again, this is the sword of clarity, the sword of cutting away what does not serve you, you know, and it's the sword of truth. And the balance here, Spirit is telling you that whatever you start considering, the pause that you're taking to consider things, you need to look clearly and be merciless with cutting away what is not on the up and up, what you understand does not serve you, and you may be fantasizing that you will have some wonderful result, but deep down you know that's more like a fantasy and it's an illusion. So you need to cut away what does not serve you and really look at what will give you a balance, what decision will give back to you what you're putting into it, what decision, what option will give you back in equal measure, what decision or what option will be, you know, again, it would be in equal measure to what you're asking for, what you're seeking, what you're willing to invest in. So be mindful of that, and just be more discerning, and just be more, I would say, use your intellect more in this case, not so much your emotion and, you know, your illusions. Be more intellectual about it, be more logical about it, and cut away what will not serve you. And you can achieve that balance. You can find the proper solution, but I think you need to somewhat expand that mindset that you're in, because you seem to be sort of stuck in a particular mindset, not taking action and just looking only at certain specific options that don't seem really to serve you at this point. Expand your point of view, expand what you're looking at, and seek beyond the options that you think are available to you. Okay, Pisces, let me ask now the question that you have. It's a yes or no question. Okay, like literally it turned right away. And this is an incredible card in light of what we just said. The Queen of Swords, this queen, now forget about the sex, but she embodies someone who's very clear-minded, clear thoughts. She sits above the clouds, which means the clouds are not clouding her judgment, and cuts away with that sword, the sword right here, cuts away through any kind of confusion, anything that does not serve her. She's direct, to the point. Literally, this card is the antidote to these two. And this. Literally, it's the antidote. So if you're asking a yes or no question, the answer would be yes if you apply your logic and intellect and cut away what does not serve you and do away with any illusions and fantasies. You really have to be clear with yourself, and you have to basically not sugarcoat options for yourself and kind of tell yourself, well, it might work, when you know right off the bat that there are red flags and it probably will not work. So the answer would be yes if you use your judgment, your discernment, your clarity, and you're kind of ruthless with your own thought process and what's in front of you. All right, Pisces, those are your that's your reading for the pre-eclipse energies, and I will see you in the next upload. All right, everyone, I want to wish everyone a healthy, prosperous, and positive eclipse season. If any of the messages of this video resonated with you, I would love and I would appreciate and I would thank you for a like, a share, or subscribe. This is a new channel, so any kind of support would help the channel grow. I love doing these readings, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.